So Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has been going viral today because of this very human moment.
You do not have to wear those masks. I mean, please take them off. Honestly, it's not doing anything, and we got to stop with this COVID theater. So if you want to wear it, fine, but this is ridiculous.
All right, well, it's good to be at USF.
It's funny because I love that, but I'm looking at Democrats on Twitter. We really live in different alternate realities, sadly, where they're like, oh my goodness, that's the real him. I can't believe he said that. And I'm like, thank goodness somebody's telling the truth. Thank goodness somebody's being honest. He's been one of my favorite governors in the entire country for his consistent stance. While literally every other governor that made it look like he was some sort of giant murderer, now they're pretty much just parroting what Ron DeSantis said a year ago and acting like it's their own. I mean, that Ron DeSantis clip was definitely better than Nancy Pelosi, looking like she wants to bury your kids in usury loans and put that money in the stock exchange, or Joe Biden thanking the Iranian people.
Putin may circle Kyiv with tanks, but he'll never gain the hearts and souls of the Iranian people. He'll never extinguish their love of freedom, and he will never weaken the resolve of the free world.
Joe Biden, who acted like a total psychopath for an entire year, Jen Psaki, the White House, etc. I mean, some of their rhetoric was some of the darkest stuff I've ever heard in my life. It was disgusting. I don't care if people agree with me, like Obama, for instance. I'm not saying I like him, but I've never heard him talk as dark and disgusting as Jen Psaki and Joe Biden when they were talking about the unvaccinated people who won't bow down to the biggest lobbyist in Washington, Big Pharma. It was disgusting. And then Biden gets on stage and is like, we all need to unite, put COVID aside and really come together. No more treating your neighbor like your enemy. It's like, sorry, bro, you already brainwashed hundreds of millions of people to act that way, and they're not just breaking the programming as easy as you want them to now. And let's make this really clear. Ron DeSantis telling them you don't have to is a nice thing to do, because it's not like these people had a choice for 2 years. It's not like that's how Joe Biden and everybody was acting in the teachers unions at these schools. They were acting crazy. I mean, kids were playing sports with them on, forced to do so. Kids were playing instruments with them on, forced to do so. You think kids would look like this under their own free will? Highly doubt it. I'm pretty sure that was all they could do, or else they couldn't be in band. Maybe I'm wrong, but clearly these mandates were not optional for a long time for a lot of people. So now that the Democrats have decided they will stop being authoritarian psychopaths, I don't know if it's because they found their new little Russia-Ukraine narrative, or because midterms are coming up and they're polling horribly, and I mean horribly, in the betting odds for this next election. So now that they're easing off of restrictions, I think it's really nice around DeSantis to be like, you don't have to do this, because it's not like kids are doing this normally, like, oh, I just thought to do this. They were forced to do it, mandated to do it, and told they'd be kicked out of school if they didn't do it for years. And now that it's rolling away, a lot of them don't even remember what it was like, especially the young ones. They don't remember what it was like to not have to wear them. So they're already talking about kids showing signs of autism and speech issues.
Definitely makes a difference when the world you're growing up in, you can't interact with people and their face. That's super important to babies. So
we're seeing a lot of things that look just like autism. They're not making any word.
This is mainstream news now because of the forced masking. We try to talk about the negative effects of forced masking. Even if you think there are positive ones and you're referencing studies, cool. But why don't you do a study on the psychological, mental, physical, emotional impact of forced masking? Because there are negative consequences. There always were. And Facebook, YouTube should be absolutely ashamed of themselves, and Google, for covering this all up and vilifying people who are talking about this. Now you have a generation that doesn't even know what it's like to be a human, doesn't know what it's like to have a smile on their face. I mean, if you can't even show your smile, why not just replace the kids with robots and AI? I'm sure they could do a better job at half the jobs that people are working at now anyway. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to be nice. And these bullies that were bullying children, now all of a sudden their biggest problem is Ron DeSantis telling them, you're free, you don't have to do this. Show your face, show your identity.
You do not have to wear those masks. I mean, please take them off. Honestly, it's not doing anything, and we got to stop with this COVID theater. So if you want to wear it, fine, but this is ridiculous.
All right, well, it's good to be at USF.
He probably doesn't want to have a photo op looking like Stacey Abrams or this Democratic governor. He's probably like, yeah, I feel disgusting the fact that I'm able to show my face and you're not. Thank you, Ron DeSantis. Don't give in to these psychopath bullies. Please. Hundreds of millions of people, if not billions of people around the world, are with you. Hey, Hey folks, we're already sold out of black hats. Unfortunately, we can only find 7 made in the USA, and we have a limited edition of pink hats, the God Bless hats, and a brand new design, Dream Rare, the green hats. I'll get a better picture once they're stitched. It's gonna look similar to the one that I always wear. Different font for the Dream Rare, same font for the God Bless pink hats, and also we have this Freedom Over Tyranny shirt. Check that out, limited edition of everything made in the USA. Get it before they sell out.